What if I told you that you could have views like these on uninterrupted beaches like these on an island without high rises? Well, welcome to the southern Caribbean island of Grenada. On our trip to Grenada, we stayed at the beautiful Laluna resort. Laluna is a design hotel, part of the Marriott Bonvoy suite of properties. As you see here, bedroom with its air conditioning comes complete with bug guards, which you will need at the evening hours. You have a very large walk-in closet. But one of the more interesting features of the resort is in fact that you also have to lock the door to the bathroom, which will become clear as to the reason why in a moment. It comes complete with a sink and a shower, and I don't think it's too much to say that probably the best view I've ever had while taking a shower. And don't worry, it's not too primitive. You still get your Western toilet, although the air conditioning doesn't go in here, so you aren't on your phone much. But the reason you have to lock your door is because this little lock is all that keeps those in the outside from, well, visiting you. Thankfully, on the island, and complete with a plunge pool, folks keep to themselves. They're just happy to have you visit. Now, the thing with Laluna is all of its rooms are on top of a hill. So as you look down at the beautiful water and pristine beaches, just keep in mind that there's a lot of steps necessary to get there. Now, our room was at the very last set of rooms along the road. So in order to get down to the beaches, there's a couple different ways you can do so. You can follow this road the entire way down around, and it'll drop you off right by the front desk building of the resort. Or you can take your sweet old time walking along the road until you get to this pathway, which of course will lead you right down to the resort as well. Now, there's a lot of steps involved. Going down certainly much more enjoyable than going up at the end of a long, hot day. And while some of the cement steps were slanted, they did do a nice job of providing texture and grooves, so even when it had rained, we never found them to be too slick. There was certainly no shortage of geckos visible on our trip, but they're more scared of you than you are of them, and they do help keep the bug population down. And as you come down this last set of steps, you enter upon the open-air seating area, where many folks will hang out and chat throughout the course of the day. The resort is Balinese themed, so certainly lots of Balinese architecture and decorations can be found throughout the resort. But wow, what a view. It comes complete with a pool to cool off, as well as the hotel bar adjacent to the pool. It's certainly a beautiful way to start our trip. Now, one of the best things about the Laluna resort, at least when we visited, was that it really wasn't very busy. And as we came down by the pool, you can make a right or a left to sit along the beach. We found that turning left more suited our style. It was quieter, and we found that the rocks and sand and the water in general was a little kinder and gentler to the left. There was plenty of loungers available. Of course, all non-motorized water sports, such as kayaking, paddleboarding, and various other activities were included with the hotel stay. This was our favorite section of the beach due to its isolated nature and unmatched views. Directly behind us, if we'd followed the path back up the hill, was the resort spa. Although we did not visit there, we heard wonderful things from others. And then this structure is where they performed yoga each morning. Shockingly, not really my thing. It even had a bocce pit, although I don't think anyone's played recently. And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you to visit BB's Crabback in downtown St. George. Right on the water, and the food was phenomenal. Now, when we visited Grenada, it was nearly 7 months after I had ruptured an Achilles tendon, so I was still in the throes of recovery, and apparently we felt it would be great physical therapy if we toured the entire island. Well, it's a mountainous island, so buckle up. The first stop was Fort Frederick, one of the original French forts overlooking the coastline. Set up in the 18th and 19th centuries, it offers unmatched views of the island, and with panoramic 360-degree views of the Caribbean to the south and the mountains to the north. And as we traveled deeper into the mountains of Grenada, we came face to face with some of its famous waterfalls as well. We got to see beaches that were frequented by locals. It's amazing how few people visit these beaches in this part of the world. But without a doubt, one of the coolest things we've ever done is visit a real-life rum factory. This one still operates like it once did in the 1800s. The factory is powered by a water wheel. In fact, this water wheel was imported from England in the 1840s. And in order to make rum, you need a lot of sugarcane. And all this sugarcane is getting loaded onto the conveyor belt, where it will be taken up through the power of the water wheel and compressed, so where it will eventually become rum. The extracted liquid from the sugarcane gets pumped into another building. More on that in a bit. But the leftover husks instead are loaded into these wagons and dumped into a pile, where they will in turn be burned to help power the distilling process. Well, that is a big pile of husks, and that's where they're burned. But as you walk through these piles, well, they might hit you when they dump them. Eat your heart out, OSHA. Now, the liquid that was extracted from the sugarcane is boiled in a series of cauldrons powered by the husks that are being burned beneath the floor. Following the boiling process, it is then pumped into these holding tanks. And after a set amount of time, is then pumped over to a distiller, where the final product is produced. When in the north of the island, you can visit the Belmont Estate, where cocoa is still harvested to this day. The next day may have been our favorite of the entire trip. as we and a guide got to hike through the jungles and the rainforest in search of some waterfalls. I'm not entirely sure why there's a goat there, but he was kind of cute. Now, I will remind you, I'm not even 7 months out from my ruptured Achilles at this point, and we keep walking down and down and down. And it's about this point where I'm wondering, how in the world am I ever going to get out of this place? And just when you think, I think we'll figure out a way, someone passes you on the trail, and you watch them hoof it back uphill. Did not look like they were having all that much fun. I'm not going to lie, at this point I thought that might be the waterfall, and we had just wasted a whole lot of time. But thankfully I was wrong, and as we rounded the bend, we got to see 2 of the Seven Sisters waterfalls that everyone raves about, and for good reason. Even better, we had the entire place to ourselves. Grenada happens to be home of an underwater sculpture park, which you're able to scuba dive and snorkel. And well, when in Rome, a snorkeling we will go. Now, no video exists of me in snorkel gear because I look absolutely ridiculous. Another fantastic way to spend an evening is to take a taxi over to the True Blue Bay Resort, where once a week they have street food vendors where you can eat traditional Grenadian cuisine. It was fantastic, and even better yet was the live music. You can listen for yourself. But my favorite part of Grenada is just how comfortable it is being itself. The views, the people, the food. It's all so natural and so untouched. And so for now, goodbye Grenada, but we'll be back.